Super. Okay. Thank you. As always, we will share the recording once we're done with the session. But till then, please put in your questions. And Watto, let's start as we look ahead to tomorrow's game against the Lucknow Super Giants. I think I'm just going to kickstart with the question that's popping up the most. And I think let's get done with that. Can you please provide us with an update around the availability of Mitch Marsh, David Warner, and Anrich Nortje? Are they all available for selection ahead of tomorrow's game?
Yes, so Dave Warner, definitely he's out of quarantine, the quarantine period now. So Dave Warner will definitely be available for selection for tomorrow night's game, which is very exciting. Anrich Nortje has been going incredibly well over the last couple of weeks since he's arrived here in India. And last night he passed his last sort of fitness test to get through to be passed fit for selection. So that's another exciting to be able to have him available for selection. And Mitch Marsh is progressing really well. Whether he's available for selection, there's still one more training session as well to get through tonight, but he has been progressing really well, which is again very exciting with the firepower that he brings to the Delhi squad as well.
Super. Let's move on to the next one. This one's from Niharika, and her question is, in both matches of DC so far in the IPL, 3 wickets have been lost in power play while chasing. Could you perhaps throw some light about what you're talking about in terms of improving as far as this part of the game is concerned?
Yeah, there's no question that losing 3 wickets in a power play, whether you're batting first or second, is not ideal, and it makes it more difficult to be able to either set the total that you're looking for or chase down a total. And it's really just as simple as just executing for longer periods of time. You're always facing the best bowlers in those first 6 overs, and we've certainly got the quality of batsmen who are opening the batting, Prithvi Shaw, Tim Seifert as well as a starting point and Mandeep Singh, who's been batting at number 3. So again, it's more so them just being able to execute for that little bit longer a time, getting through those periods when the ball's swinging around to start with, and then just finding the right couple of people to be able to get the innings going, get the momentum going through that 6-over power play. So look, it hasn't been ideal from a wickets point of view, but in the end, it just comes down to executing your skill more consistently to hopefully just get the innings going a little bit more slicker without sort of losing those wickets, which then makes it a bit more challenging for the middle order.
Okay, we'll pick this one up from Orithro Mukherjee from the Hindustan Times digital team. He asks, how good has Lalit Yadav been for Delhi Capitals as a franchise? Is there a plan perhaps to promote him up the order, given that he's done well, or is there a specific role for Lalit?
Yeah, Lalit, it's the first time I've seen him this IPL, and he has been, he's incredible. He's incredibly skilled. The power that he's got and all the shot options that he's got against quicks and spin bowling is, it's incredible to be able to see. So, and for him to be able to put in the performances like the first game against Mumbai Indians, just really boosts his confidence to know that he has got the game to be able to win a game for his team, and he certainly showed that in the first game. There's going to be opportunities. At the moment, it is sort of batting at number 5 or 6 at this point in time because of the skill set that he does have. But because of our batting lineup, we do have a little bit of flexibility as well. Whether at some stage he might come up at 3, or whether he sort of stays at that number 5, number 6 role that he's been doing really well in the first couple of games as well. That's a great thing. The way Ricky is as well, and Rishabh is to be able to provide just a little bit of flexibility in the batting lineup, depending on what the right matchup is there at that point in time. But more than anything, it's seeing Lalit showing his skill to the world. That's the most exciting thing for me, whether he's batting at number 5 or 6 or whether he's actually coming in at 3. He's got incredible skill, and his confidence is only going to grow as he continues to show and strut his stuff on the international stage.
Okay, next one, Watto, is from G. Krishnan, and his question is, having been part of many franchises in the IPL as a player and now part of the coaching staff, is it at all a bit of an advantageous position to be in when you're perhaps, playing a team like a CSK or a Rajasthan, because you've been a part of the setup earlier?
Oh, look, it's an advantage in a way, more so playing CSK. Like Rajasthan Royals was quite a few years ago, so I've lost touch of exactly everything that's going on in there. But inside the CSK psyche, it probably helps a little bit. But in the end, what it really boils down to is the current sort of setups of each franchise and each team. And in the end, you can have all the insights, but if you don't have the players and the skills to be able to execute those game plans and trying to expose those insights, then there's no point having those insights. So for me, the most exciting thing is the squad that we've got here in Delhi, Delhi Capitals. We've got, gosh, like international stars from an Indian perspective, overseas perspective, and some incredible young talent as well that we're seeing with Lalit Yadav as a starting point. So in the end, if the Delhi Capitals are able to play their best and bring their best consistently throughout this tournament, then because of the depth and quality of our squad, then it doesn't matter who we play and what insights I have, they're going to be doing incredibly well.
Okay. The next one, Water, is from S. Ramaswamy from Midday. And his question is, any particular player or players from the Lucknow team, they've also played 2 games so far, that you think DC needs to be wary of?
Well, Lucknow Super Giants have got quite a few players who just about all their team. They've got a very strong team at the moment that we've got to look out for. Obviously, KO Roll, someone who can really take the game away from an opposition very quickly, especially if he's in that mood of really taking the game on. Quinton de Kock's, he's ready to fire as well. Everyone knows the incredible skill as a batsman, as a starting point that he's got. Deepak Hood is someone who I played with him in the Rajasthan Royals back in quite a few years ago, and he had great skill then. And now for him to be able to show the consistent skill, the power hitting skill that he's got, means that he's very dangerous, and we're going to have to look out for him. But then from a bowling perspective, they've got some firepower as well, Lucknow. So Avesh Khan's done incredibly well. And obviously the Delhi Capitals know Avesh very well from his playing days here at the Delhi Capitals. So he's been going very well. So the great thing is the Delhi Capitals know that all the players know Avesh very well. So they're going to know what his strengths and weaknesses are and how to try and tap into those weaknesses more than anything. But it's just great to see a new franchise like now Super Giants play so well and start so incredibly well, because that's the beauty of this tournament is there's so many great players and world-class players that are around this whole tournament that even a brand new franchise that are trying to find their feet have got off to a great start. So that's only a great thing for this tournament.
They have. And since you mentioned Deepak Huda, I'm going to pick up the next one since that mentions him. Question from Rishabh Gupta. They have as many as 3 very good quality all-rounders in Jason Holder, Krunal Pandya, and Deepak Huda, who are all in their playing 11 in the last game. How much of an advantage is that for Lucknow?
Having quality bowling all-rounder options certainly is a huge advantage to a captain. There's no question, just to be able to know that if one of the main bowlers is having an off day, that you've got plenty of opportunities to be able to mix and match your bowlers to try and limit the damage. And Krunal Pandya, he's always bowled incredibly well in the power play. He does very well as well. Jason Holder was a huge inclusion in the last game for the Lucknow Super Giants. So there's no doubt having all-rounder bowling options certainly plays a part, but you can also have too many bowling options. As a captain, if you've got too many bowling options, it can be difficult to work out how to give everyone a go in a way, how to sort of mix and match the bowlers as well. So it's great to be able to have plenty of options, but sometimes when you have too many options, it can provide a bit more of a headache for the captain. So, but right now, the way the Super Giants do match up, they've got just about all bases covered.
Okay, last couple of ones before we close. This one's on Prithvi, and the question is, over the last couple of games, he has been dismissed in a similar way. You and the rest of the coaches, of course, rate him very, very highly. If there's one thing perhaps, you'd like to work upon to help Prithvi improve his consistency going ahead, what would that be?
Look, for me, Prithvi, he's one of the most incredibly skilled young cricketers that I've seen. the way he hits the ball against all types of bowling, all qualities of bowling, quick spin in all different types of conditions is an incredible skill that he's got, and I've hardly ever seen it. So in the end, what we're all trying to do as a coaching group is just continue to work on Prithvi, just allowing to get the best out of his skills that he's got. Yes, he's got out to the pull shot in the first 2 games, but in the end, that just comes down to a bit of execution, and that's what we have been working with him. We worked on with him a little bit yesterday. It's just that execution to make sure he gets in to the right position or a better position when he's playing his pull shot. But his ability to be able to take down the best bowlers in the world is a very rare skill. And in the end, we don't want to cloud that skill in any way, thinking about too many things. It's more so just allowing him to be able to just, I suppose, react that little bit better from an execution of skill point of view. And he does that, and gosh, he can take a game away from any quality of bowling, especially world-class bowling, very quickly.
All right. Last one, Watto, before we close. And now the Delhi Capital squad is complete. People have come in staggered fashion. We only had one overseas player in the opening game. And then, of course, and Powell and then Fizz and Lungi were available. Everyone is available now. Finally, you get to see what are your possible combinations that you can work with going ahead. How is the squad looking at the moment for you?
The squad's looking incredibly good and incredibly well balanced with match winners all the way through the squad. So, and that's the exciting thing about the Delhi Capitals, and is that we do have plenty of options and world-class options as well. So the biggest challenge over the next few games is just finding what the right combinations are going to be, and what the right roles are going to be, now that everyone's available. So that's the biggest challenge for us as coaching, the coaches, and from the selection point of view of what's going to be the right roles for every individual to be able to create a super team in a way that everyone sort of plays above themselves. So that's just, it's a great challenge to be able to have, because now we've got these incredible quality cricketers that we've got in the squad. But that's why we've got the quicker a team is able to sort of put all those pieces together, with all the players available, that's going to be the team that's is going to be able to get on a roll and stay on a roll, throughout this tournament.
Super. Thank you so much for your time, Watto. Thank you everyone for joining. We will be sharing the recording with all of you shortly. Thank you.
Pleasure. Have a good day. Cheers.